What's good? This is your Divine Karma coming in with a channel message on today. How are you? I send you peace, light, love, and harmony as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. All right. I hope everybody's doing good. This this message, this channel came on me yesterday. I got a little busy, so Spirit dropped it back on me again today. Got my nifty notebook with my notes. There's someone who did something. Y'all know I hate using the terminology good or bad, but I'm going to use it for the sake of the conversation. Um, Something that you did that was really, really bad. Someone did something like it hurt someone or hurt a lot of people. And like I said, it's considered bad. I even picked up, I don't know if anybody in prison is watching my videos, but maybe, somebody could have done time for it or is doing time because I did pick up that channel. But it was something really, really bad. And you feel like your life has been, things have happened that's not so good in your life because of this thing that you did. Yes, you did a thing. Yes, it was bad. Yes, you hurt someone or some people. Yes, the divine seen it, witnessed it, experienced it, right? Because I always say the divine or whoever source is for you is just experiencing life through us, right? And there's this energy that whoever I'm speaking to, like you feel like, man, I let myself down, I let people down, I hurt people, I let God down, whoever that is for you, and you've been holding on to a large amount of guilt. I was getting information about like it's sitting in your sacral chakra. Like I'm talking about a massive amount of guilt, right? Um, and your soul wants you to let it go. Your soul wants you to let it go. It's just lying dormant in your sacral chakra and it's consuming you. It's causing blockages when it comes to your will, to your desires. It's hindering your relationships and it's, you can't figure out, why everybody that you attract, whether it's friendship or relationship, it goes south, right? And, you keep telling yourself that it's because of this thing that you did, this thing that you did that hurt someone or hurt some people, right? But the fact of the matter is, it's because you're still holding on to this energy in your sacral chakra and holding on to it. So you are mirroring every friendship, every relationship. It's just a mirror of that energy that you're holding on in your sacral chakra. And I kept hearing, you've been through hell and back. You've been through hell and back. And it's okay. It's okay. And I'm not saying, nobody gets let off the hook, so to speak, when we, cross the boundaries of universal law. I'm not just talking about the laws of, the Constitution and the government, all that. There are three universal laws. Your main three universal laws is you don't harm or hurt anyone, you don't steal or take from anyone, and you don't like mislead and deceive anyone. Like those are, when I first became conscious, those are like the top three, right off bat. And you've been through hell and back. You've been through hell and back because you did one of these, or maybe a plethora of these, and you've been holding on to it. It's a burden from your past. It's something that you did in your past. I keep saying like somebody did time or something happened. I don't know if parole, probation, something. Um, but here's the kicker. We all, there's no coincidences or accidents on this planet. Those coincidence and accident, those words are for, matrix stuff only, right? There are everything on this planet and everyone's life is in divine order at all times, right? Your soul signs up for things. And I say all the time, all there is choices, right? And, your soul is always at the forefront of you making a choice. You could take the scenic route or you can take the short route, right? You took the scenic route in some decisions and hurt some people, but it's in the past, right? The reason why your soul chose this, why your soul, like this was in your soul contract, and for this to happen, because there's something about in your Akashic records that you needed to learn the energy and frequency and vibration of forgiveness, of healing, and compassion. Those are the three things I wrote down. There's something in your Akashic records that you signed up for this with your soul contract to go through this because you need it. You need to learn the energy, frequency, and vibration of healing, compassion, and forgiveness. Um, and you think that somebody thinks that like the divine has been punishing them, and it is not that. You literally been punishing yourself, right? People have this conception that when we do something, whether it was intentional or non-intentional, it harms somebody or whatever have you, this bad thing, like I said, I'm gonna use this terminology for the sake of the video. Most people have this image that when it happens, right, outside of our governmental laws and regulations and that things of that nature, you having to, pay those consequences, right? That the divine somehow says you need to be punished, right? You have to be punished because you did this, right? And here's the thing. It's the same thing when people say, you know, that person gonna go to hell when they leave here because of things that they did in this life. What? When you leave here, you are the judge, right? You are the judge. You have to understand when you leave here, or even when you do something bad, and people are trying to, people think God is punishing you because you did this bad thing, right? You have to understand something. It's not that God is punishing you or saying, oh, and I do believe in karma. Don't get me wrong, because that account does have to be balanced out, right? But people think that God is sitting somewhere. The divine is like, oh, you have to be punished for this because you hurt somebody. And I'm not letting anybody off the hook, or you killed somebody or murdered somebody or unalived somebody, or, whatever it is, stole from somebody. The divine is not sitting somewhere with a notepad and I got to punish them, chat. We got to punish them, y'all. We got to punish them because they did this, right? Here's the thing people don't understand and understand about the energy of the divine consciousness. You are a fractal of the divine. So that part of you, you're going to judge yourself. It's not that the divine consciousness is sitting somewhere deciding that it has to punish you, because you have the energy of the divine, of God, whoever source is for you already inside of you. You have the capability to judge yourself. And when you get in the frequency of judgment, right, this is on a soul level. Your soul is not going to say, this was right, this is wrong. It's just recording everything that you did, right? This is what happens. You have the capability of judging yourself. It ain't coming from the divine. It is coming from the fractal of the divine that lives inside of you. You judge yourself. You're your own jury. You're your outside. I'm talking about on a frequency level. You got to deal with the courts and all that, whatever it is, whatever had happened. But you're your own jury, your own judge, all of that yourself, right? On the soul level, because your soul is just recording everything. Because you can't lie to your soul. Does this make sense to you? You can't lie to your soul. Your soul is the evidence that you did thus said thing. God is not sitting somewhere taking notes and saying that, oh, I need to punish you. You will have to deal. We have things called laws in this, on this planet, and you'll have to deal with that. But when it comes to universal frequencies and universal law, right? The judge is you. And I keep hearing you've been through hell and back because of this thing, because you need to learn in this lifetime the energy of compassion, healing, and forgiveness. This is a message from your soul to please forgive yourself, because just like you have that fractal, that energy of the divine, that you can say, you know what, that you can judge yourself, you also have that energy and frequency of the divine to have compassion and healing and love for yourself, right? And your soul is saying, please, it's time. We need to move on from this, right? You learned the lesson. You've held on to this in your sacral chakra for so long. You've learned the lesson. And the reason that you did this, so you can learn what love is, what compassion is, what healing is, what forgiveness is, right? And your soul is begging you, forgive yourself. It's you've been through hell and back, and it's okay. Not what you did is okay, but you've paid. You've been your own judge. You've been that hard on yourself, right? Um, I also was channeling about your guides and angels have been sending you messages and signs telling you, hey, you got the message, you got the lesson, but you've been so hard on yourself that you've missed all the signs, you've missed all the messages from your guides and angels, and they've been trying to tell you that it's okay. You've learned, right? You know what this is. Your soul is telling you, hey, I know. Your soul is like raising its hand. Hey, 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 I know what this is. This is from a past life. Or, maybe something you might have did. It's from the Akashic records. We were supposed to learn what frequency, the energy of frequency and, compassion and healing, you know, and your soul is like raising its hand, trying to get your attention like, okay, I got it. We got it. And you've missed all the signs because you've got this guilt that you're just holding on to. Like, no, I don't deserve happiness. No, I did something bad. I don't deserve joy. What? Everybody does something bad. One thing that, I don't do religion, but I remember, when I was growing up, that they used to say, no sin is bigger than the other one, right? So I can go smack the out of somebody because that's harming someone, right? Or somebody else can go rob a whole bank. And, they would say in the church that one is not bigger than the other one. And when you think about it in the universal law three universal laws that I spoke of, right? There is, in those universal laws, there is not one bigger than the other one. These are the three universal laws on a universal frequency. Not to harm anyone, right? Not to steal, and not to mislead or be deceitful to anyone, right? It didn't say one was bigger than three or two was bigger than, these are just basic universal laws. Your guides and angels are trying to tell you to live in the present moment. Everything about you is still in this past frequency with this thing that you did. Everything. I was picking up an energy from, it was like hearing the part of you that did this thing, right? Has a message for you. And it's saying to please forgive me. Like the part of you that did this thing. It's like saying, I know that I hurt people. And a lot of it came from you you didn't want, like, you felt like if people knew the real you or something, the thing that you did, or knew your flaws, or knew, you know they wouldn't accept you, they wouldn't love you, like, friendship wise, relationship wise, or whatever. So it's just easier to continue to hurt people because then they'll stay away from me. That's the frequency that you've been in. You deserve love, you deserve happiness, you deserve joy, you deserve all of that. That part of you is apologizing and wants you to forgive yourself. You know, we live in this society to where it's supposed to be when somebody, goes to jail or goes to prison that their slate is, wiped clean and all of this. Y'all know that's a bunch of bush. I don't care what's written, what is on the paperwork, look around. How many stories have we heard about people doing something and they go to prison for their whole life only to find out they didn't commit the crime? How many people actually, did something, they go do the time, stay out of trouble, come out and try to turn their life around. They can't get a job. They can't get no help. And I'm not saying this is an excuse to go back to that lifestyle, but come on. Like, really? Y'all know it's a bunch of bullshit. It always has been. And listen, I was my mama's troubled child. I was. I really was. I was always the one the school was calling it out because I was always fighting and I had daddy issues. I was like, y'all, I've told this story before. I always was doing the most, right? Went to jail a couple times for, possession of marijuana when I was younger. And yeah, I think at 16, I, caught a misdemeanor for, I'm so sorry, Sean Miller. Child, I stabbed the boy because it was a lot. I don't even remember. Not stab, but like sliced his arm with a razor. Like I was that kid, right? Got busted for weed before. I know how hard it is. I didn't even go to prison. I just got probation. And do you know how hard it was to continue and even to put that on? Because they gave me a felony for having weed. This was like in 1998. For having marijuana, I got a felony because back then it wasn't legal. But I say that to say this. I know the system is a bunch of BS, bruh. Like I know this. They say that the slate is clean. The slate is not clean. Here's the thing I want you to remember, whoever I'm talking to. I know it's not easy and you feel like your slate will take time to get clean when it comes to the government and getting a job and your image and all, this part of it. But let me tell you what the focus on. The divine is already telling you that your slate is clean. Understand? Your guides and angels, your soul is already telling you, God is already telling you, your slate is clean, babe. Let everything else fall where it may. You're going to be fine. You have been through hell and back, but your slate is clean with God. And that is the most important part, because if you can accept that, the divine is waiting on you to accept that. Your soul is waiting on you to accept that. You are going to be amazed on how quick things turn around. And that slate in this government that we got, and they talk about it but don't be about it. You got some guides and angels on your side that's waiting on you to accept this, and they're going to make some happen for you. All right. This is your girl, Divine Karma. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. All right. And hit that like button for your girl. All my services are open, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.